our body weight strength class. No equipment needed other than your yoga mats. This is with Wellness Blueprint, so welcome, welcome. We're gonna get started with the warm-up. Feel free to modify any of the movements. We're gonna start with a high knee march, warming up those hip flexors. So I'm gonna talk to you while I do the warm-up here. Feel free to modify any of the movements that I'm doing today in terms of how low you wanna squat, how low you wanna lunge, how you wanna do push-ups, whether it's on your knees or toes. Take water breaks at any time. Yes, it's 30 minutes, and I'm gonna try to cram as much stuff as I can into this class without taking any official breaks, but that doesn't mean you cannot take a break. All right? Let's get those arms involved here. So reach up and pull down. Also, I am not playing any music here so that my voice can be clearly heard. You can blast any music you'd like that's motivating to you, inspired you. If it's, you know, new age music and like Enya, if that motivates you for strength class, that's fine. It's all good. All right, I'm gonna slow down my knee lifts and make it into a circle. Let's get those hips opened. So when we do our squats nice and wide, it will be a total shock to our hips. Good. One more on each side. Let's mix, oh, I didn't even do that right. Let's make some big arm circles. Reaching back. Giant backstroke, and then reaching forward. And then you're going to take your feet about shoulder distance wide, or whatever's comfortable for you for a squat. Toes and knees will probably be turned out a little bit, and we're going to squat. Let's do about 8 times here. When we start into the thick of the workout, we're going to be doing 16 reps of everything. I'm going to do my best to count 16 reps. Sometimes it's a little under, sometimes it's a little over. The goal here is to overload our muscles, right? It's going to feel a little sore, a little burned out, a little fatigued, or maybe a lot, so that we know that we are overloading it, making it stronger, pushing it beyond its current limits. All right, I'm going to turn to the side, nice long stride. For my lunges, lowering that back knee, stays right under the hip, keep that chest up, abs brace, vertical spine. Give me about 3 more. And then we're going to switch sides. Good. So my feet are hip distance apart, knees and toes facing all in the same direction, hips square to the front, or in my case, to the side. I'm only trying sideways to show you guys a profile. You can do this facing forward. Okay, let's get down on the floor for a plank on our elbows. So I'm gonna get on my elbows, so it's underneath my shoulders. I'm gonna move my toes back. Option to be on your knees here. You're trying to aim to have a straight line from your ears, through your shoulders, hips, knees, and then if you're on your toes, your ankles. This is an isometric movement, so we are not moving. We're holding nice and still, but that doesn't mean our muscles aren't engaged. So we're pressing into those forearms, engaging through the shoulders, abdominals are braced. We're breathing in and out. The butt is squeezing, the quads are squeezing. And that's how we hold and brace nearly all the muscles in our body to hold this beautiful plank. Good, and then what is a push-up? A push-up is a moving plank. You can take your feet about hip distance apart if you like. I'm gonna come on up into our wrists. Keep those hands nice and wide, and we're gonna do 8 push-ups. Feel free to pop to your knees. Here we go. For 8. Bending those elbows until the chest is about elbow height. Try not to reach the head forward as the first thing that happens in your push-up. You wanna just bend your elbows and keep your head back, head and neck aligned with your spine. 2 more. Everyone kind of moves at different paces, right? So even if I count to 16, if you're moving slower or faster than me, you might do 16 before I do, or you might do 16 after me, which is why numbers aren't a huge critical thing about this workout. It's really about feeling those muscles burn, okay? We're gonna go into, first of all, basic squats. I'm going a little wider than I did in my warm-up, and we're going to do 16 of this. These are concentric and eccentric, right? We're lowering, we're lifting. This is movement based. And then we're going to go into our isometrics, which is going to be at the lowest point of the squats. So again, find a squat position that is relatively comfortable for you so that you can hold it at the bottom. So in our second set of 8, we have about 5 more left. 4, 3, again, knees and toes, tracking in line with each other. 2, and we're gonna hold it down here. All right, we're gonna do some ab work. So as I lean toward the right, I stretch my left, and I contract in the right oblique. There's 3, there's 4, try to stay low. Thighs are experiencing an isometric contraction. Yeah, you're not moving, but it's working. There's 8, we got 8 more. 8, 7, stretch here. 6, and then contract to come right back up. 5, you got this. Does it burn? Feel free to stand up at any point. But now we're gonna stand up. Back to the squats. 16, oh, this feels great. Doesn't this feel easy? Because we're moving. But squats are not easy. It just feels easy. It's all relative, right? 8 more. Another set is coming up. We got 3 more left. 3, 2, stay down. We gotta do our side bends to the other side. So your hips can stay stable while your rib cage moves, right? The 2 things can move independent of each other because of your spine. Lateral flexion. Ooh, this second one is really killing me. Laugh, it just makes you feel better. Takes the pain away. Got 5 more. It's okay if you have to stand up a little bit. Try to and just drop back down. 3, and 2, and 1. Good, shake out those legs. You might not feel that much in the obliques. I mean, to be honest, we're doing vertical crunches. You don't usually feel it. You have to be kind of horizontal to really feel your abs. But really, they just distracted you, right, from the squats. Okay, now we're gonna actually do upper body. So give your legs a break. We're going to our push-ups wide, hands nice and wide, so they're gonna be wider than my mats. You can do push-ups on your knees or toes. I'm gonna do 1 push-up, and I'm gonna take my hand and touch the opposite shoulder. So let's like this, opposite, push-up, opposite. And I actually want your feet to be pretty wide because, or your knees, because you give yourself a more stable base, right? So if your feet are together and you try to lift up like this, what tends to happen is your pelvis moves. So we want to try to keep the pelvis from rotating. I know you've been doing that the whole time I've been demonstrating. So as long as you do any number that challenges you, we're up to 16 push-ups. If 16 push-ups don't challenge you, then do more than 16. All right, I'm gonna do, let's see 4 more. 3, push up, and just keep alternating which shoulder I tap, which arm lifts up, and 1. Okay, all right. So we're going back to upper body. We're gonna go back down and do those push-ups again for our second set. 2 sets of 16. I already did 2 sets of the squats, right? So we're gonna go into our lunges now. So with my right leg forward, there's my lunge, which you've seen from the warm-up, and then there's a curtsy lunge. All right, if you notice that I'm basically taking my foot from here, which is aligned with my hip, to the other side, and that's it. And if you want, if you like have your foot on the center of the yoga mat, and then you have 1 foot on the edge, it kind of goes to the other edge. So I'd say, max 2 feet of distance of movement, okay? All right, have you guys been practicing that? Here, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 16. We have 4 more. And if curtsy lunges, for some reason, don't feel good to you, then stay with the regular lunge, the basic lunge. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. So if you were doing it this way, I would push off a little bit and then come straight back down on that same straight line, okay? And what's gonna happen is that front leg is gonna really feel the burn. So we're doing the other side now. I'm not standing up all the way. So we are having a limited range of motion and how much that front leg straightens, how much the back leg straightens, which is why it gives it more overload than you're used to feeling if you stood up all the way. 3, and 2, and 1. Back to those push-ups. All right, back to upper body. So let your legs rest while your upper body gets fatigued. And so on and so forth. Let me do a better job of counting this one. There's 1, 2, and tap. 3. If you don't want to tap your shoulder, you don't have to. You can do any push-up variation you like. There's 7. Try to keep that head and neck aligned with the spine. Try not to drop the head forward. I'm doing my best too. It's hard not to drop that head. 6 more. Try to keep those hips square. Last one. Oh, okay. All right, did we do lunges twice already? Why can I not remember? We have to do lunges again, right? I think I've only done lunges once. I don't know why I can't remember anything. All right, here we go. 1. Actually, I want to change this up. I want to do a double pulse. So step it back here. You go down, down, and down, down. So basic lunge, curtsy lunge for 2. Basic lunge, curtsy lunge for 2. Double pulses. Should I count as extra? Yeah. Don't worry. We're close to the 16th. Good. 2 more on each side. Here and here. Last pair, last pair. Okay, now switch. Starting with the basic lunge. Pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse. Nice. Oops, I messed up there. I kind of want to push off a little bit. There you go. Which, if you plant your foot and then do a pulse like this, where you don't lift the foot off, that's okay too. That's okay. It's still gonna burn. Almost there. Last one, here we go. Okay, we're going to tricep push-ups. Tricep push-ups, we want hands nice and close. And since we have our hands nice and close, I'm gonna also have you focus on your lats a little bit. So we don't really have any pull-up bars or any weights that we can really do lats. So the only way to activate the lats is to really pull your elbow up and back as much as you can. So let me show you guys on the knees here. When you do tricep push-ups, the elbows are in, not out. Right next to my rib cage. As I push up, I'm gonna pull my elbow up. And I'm gonna tricep push-up and pull. Tricep push-up. The tricep push-up should feel very different from the chest push-up we were just doing. All right, if tricep push-ups are challenging, which they are, feel free to pull your knees in like this, okay? I'm still bending my elbows. I'm still keeping it tucked tight. I just changed how much weight goes into my arms by adjusting my lower body, okay? So there's nothing wrong with doing it this way. You aren't gonna be in a plank, but that's okay, because the focus right now is on the arms. So down, push, pull. Place the hands back down. Lower, push, pull. Really think about squeezing the shoulder blades together. So right here, as I pull my one arm up, I feel that shoulder blade slide in toward the spine. One more on each side because I've completely lost count. But I'm sure that we all feel this terribly amazing burn in our triceps. Okay, we're gonna do a single leg squat. Here it is. So from the side, this is what a squat looks like, right? My knees are bent 90 degrees, and I'm extending one leg out to the side. So you still want the butt pushing back. You want the chest lifted and the spine tilted at a slight angle. So from here, don't move anything, but try to lift the leg. Tap the foot as if the ground is very hot. Oh my gosh, you touch the floor and it's so hot, you want to just lift that leg straight up again. Stay low in that single leg squat. We got 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4. A little outer thigh, yeah, depending on how high you want to lift. Good, but really it's about the single leg squat. All right, sit your butt back and down. If you want, you can do a regular squat first, keep both legs together, then we can find that correct squat, and then extend that leg out there. And we lift for 16. A little balance challenge too, right? But it's okay, that foot touches the ground just when you feel like you're about to fall over. 8, 7. Going back into the triceps. I'm gonna grab a tissue really fast. I don't know why my nose is running. Okay, so back to the triceps. I'm gonna angle myself a little bit, so maybe this will help. Again, don't worry about the plank. Yes, if you're in a plank or you're on your toes, that's fine, you can do this. If you are on your toes, I would take your feet apart. All right, that gives your pelvis more stability. Pull. Elbows tight, hands no wider than the shoulders, pull. Here's the 4th one. You can start on your toes and then finish on your knees. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you're feeling muscularly challenged. So this is 7 and 8. So we got 8 more. Again, the focus is on the triceps here. So, but if you prefer doing chest push-ups, feel free to do that. We have 6 more. Jeez. Also, welcome to my parents who are taking my first strength class today. They usually just take my dance class. So I hope I have to check in with them after the class, see if they're doing okay. Okay. Once again, I lost count. But if you guys feel the fatigue, then you're all good. Okay, so you guys remember what we did about the single leg squats? If you stand up completely like this, then the focus will be more on outer thighs. All right, and that's okay too. Just know that if you're not bending into that one leg, you're not going to be working it isometrically as much. And I just have my hands here, but if it helps for you to have your hands out, you can. Brace your abs. You do want stability in your spine there. And your spine is straight. I know you can't tell from this angle, but you do want a straight spine. All right, 6, 5, 4. All right. Again, if you're counting to yourself and counting on 16, great, because I 100% know you are a more accurate counter than I am. Here we go, other side. Eight more. If you really want to challenge your balance, you don't have to touch the floor. See, I'm just getting close to the floor. I'm not actually touching it. Whew. Definitely a lot more challenging. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're working all kinds of different leg muscles, so that's a little bit of inner and outer thighs. All right, we're gonna do some spine work really fast. I mean, we have about, 9 minutes left. Time flies by. So we just want to make sure that our spine muscles are as strong as our ab muscles. So you have the option of lifting arms bent, arms straight, and legs optional, okay? So this in itself is called Superman or Superwoman, where all 4 limbs are off the ground to the corners of the room. Pay attention and see how that feels for your spine. You can keep your elbows bent, which is a little less strain because the arms aren't extended. And you can, of course, keep the tops of the feet on the ground. All right, let's do about 8 more. Any of those versions. Working on our posture. 8, 7, up, down. 6. So this is spine extension, right? Kind of, of course, having a little arch. We're going to flip onto our back and do the opposite of that, which is flexing our spine forward or crunching forward. So the opposite motion of arch is this curve. Okay, keep your feet on the ground if you'd like. This is your basic crunch. I'm going to have you, if you like, and if it doesn't bother your lower back, to extend one leg and lift it as you lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades. Just until the shoulder blade drops down. All right, switch legs for 8. That was 8. If I counted out loud, I probably wouldn't lose track, but it's also no fun to hear me count every single rep. All right, so that's why I'm not doing it. Okay, here's the challenge. We're gonna go back to the first leg, and we're going to extend the arms. So imagine your biceps are right by the ears, okay? And I'm still lifting my head, neck, and shoulder blades, but I'm not reaching my arms forward. I'm really trying to keep my biceps by my ears. I'm not reaching the arms too far forward. So this changes how our abdominals work or feel because of the longer lever. All right, let's switch. Option to do the first version I did, which is hands behind the head, okay? So yeah, I really want to reach my arms forward. It just makes it so much easier. But I'm really going to try not to do that. 2 more. Good. See how that works our abdominals here, which is pretty much the opposite of our spine. All right, so just to balance that out one more time. This time I'm going to give you the option of lifting right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. So similar motion where our legs are off the ground, but we're kind of doing a fluttering. It still works the muscle of the spine. Keep your chin down and head and neck aligned with the spine for 8, 7, 6. This is not really reps, I'm just counting blocks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is really great exercise. You've been sitting at your desk all day, kind of slouching over a keyboard. All right, that basically just does the opposite of that. Okay. Remember what I did previously? You have this option, you have this option. So I'm going to do a double leg lowering. Okay, now here, abs working, here, abs work a little more. So this is it right here. Don't go too low to the point that you arch your back. Here's your rest, which is not a ton of rest, but it's some rest. Less rest, more rest. More intensity in the abs, less intensity in the abs. Okay? And if you have really long legs, it's hard for your abs. If you have short legs, like me, it's not so bad. 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. My shoulder blades are still on the mat, but my abs are working plenty. 2 and 1. Good. Okay. On to the hands and knees. Yeah, I know. More push-ups? Not quite. Oh, so first, Let's work on our glutes a little bit. So if you extend one leg, okay? And then from here, you really want to think about your head, neck, shoulder, hips, and then that straight leg to stay in one unit. Meaning if I go into a tricep push-up, yeah, tricep push-ups again, see how I hinge at the waist? Try not to do that. Try. See how my leg lifts up and my whole body stays in a straight line? That's what we want. Let's do 8 on each leg. So as I tip forward, my straight leg goes up. I'm really squeezing that butt cheek. Okay, not the butt cheek of the bottom leg. I'm really squeezing the butt cheek of the top leg, which helps to keep my pelvis, abs should be tight too, everything in one straight line. I think one more makes 8. Ugh. Okay, so your arms are gonna do 16 tricep push-ups, but we have 8 lifted on each leg. Okay, ready? If you wanna go wide and do push-ups, like chest push-ups, go right ahead. Take those hands nice and wide. Take those elbows out a little bit. But it's the same principle. You still want, as your chest goes down, that your leg goes up. You're a human teeter-totter or seesaw. If this bothers anyone's knees, you can roll up your yoga mat. Sorry, I didn't mention that sooner. All right, 2 more. Good. And then from here, check out your wrists and go into a down dog for a calf stretch, hamstring stretch. You've done it. You've made it to the end. Got some abs in there, some arms, chest, a little bit of lats, spinal work, and of course your legs, glutes, quads, hamstrings. Good. You can walk the feet to the hands or the hands to the feet. Either way, they're going to meet. Hang nice and low. Head nice and heavy, looking at those knees. Your arms are dead anyway, so let them just hang there. And then slowly roll up. Quad stretch. All right, so this hip flexor and these quads. Very much involved in squats and lunges. And then the other. How are you feeling? Sorry, I just noticed the chat. I'm gonna check it out. It's probably Whitney, right? Whitney write something? Here, give me a tricep stretch. We did a lot of triceps today. I'm gonna get those obliques. So my right arm is up and my right leg is behind the left. And switch. All right, you can loosen up that lower back. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have somewhere else to be, feel free to take off. I know we could all do so much more stretching, absolutely. The reason I don't spend 5 minutes stretching is because it's only a 30-minute class.